Welcome to Openlab. I hope you're all very comfortable in this very dark room where you can hardly see a thing. Are you comfortable? Is this okay? Can you see me? Should we change the lighting? Good? Okay, let's turn them all on as bright as we can. I want to see everyone. Okay, this is great. Is this better? Yeah, it seems a little uncomfortable in here. We are Light Future, and we've been working with lighting for the past 20 weeks. And we have found that lighting controls your emotions, your feelings, your perceptions, and everything that you see. And it sets the mood for what you interpret as the world and your experience. I'm Lucy. I come from the USA.
Hey, I'm Didit. I'm Hungarian.
I'm Lila. I'm also from Hungary.
I'm Natalie. I'm from Sweden.
I'm Stefan. I'm from Tanzania.
I'm Helena and I'm from Norway.
And we've been working very hard with Stockholm Stad and Openlab to come up with solutions for lighting in the next 40 years to make Stockholm a smart city and imagine what public lighting will look like in the future. We started this process by thinking about the stakeholders and users of public lighting in Stockholm, and it turns out that that's everyone. And every person is affected by the way that the city is illuminated at night. We asked people what they think about the lighting that exists already in Stockholm and in general on the roads and sidewalks and public transportation. They felt that Stockholm was doing a great job. Of course, if a light went out, there would be a problem and someone would want to fix that. But in general, people felt like there was a lot of work going into it and that it was working well, except in public parks. Over and over, we heard that people found at night that parks were dark. There wasn't a lot of light to walk through them, and there's a social component that makes parks feel unsafe in the evening. We used Humlegården Park, right around the corner here, as our test site, and we started to talk to people and find out what they thought and their feelings and needs and empathize in the first stages with them. Some of the people that we met, we will now group together in personas that we created to highlight their needs and what we use to move forward with our solutions. First, we have Alice. Alice is a 72-year-old retired woman whose doctor says she needs to get out more, and she uses the park with her dog to get exercise every day and stay connected with her group of friends who do the same thing. We also met Christina, who is a financial advisor. She's 35, she has a child. She really wants to see her tax dollars put to work in a way that is efficient and works every time she needs it to work, and she doesn't have time for lights to be out or to feel like the service that she's providing doesn't work for her. Then we met Lucas. He's 10 years old. He's a young child and he's just learning autonomy, and he wants to be able to play in the park after school, but his parents need to feel like it's safe and there's light and it's okay to let him go. So he needs to play and they need him to have a safe place to do so. Then we met Adam. Adam likes to exercise, he uses the park to run, and he's very interested in creative and innovative solutions for Stockholm. He'd like to see Stockholm on the map as a city that the world can look at for innovative lighting solutions and as a smart city. And last, and perhaps the most focus, we put on the persona of Annika. Annika is a 32-year-old PhD student. She goes to school every day and then goes to work and wants to have a couple drinks after work. And when she wakes up, she walks through the park every morning. When she's walking home, she walks around the park because she doesn't feel safe walking at night through a dark space in Stockholm. After analyzing the needs of all of these users, we came up with a redefined point of view that we decided to solve. How can we use innovative lighting solutions to improve the ambiance of public parks to create the feeling of safety for women? A few notes about this point of view. We want the innovation to keep coming and Stockholm to stay as a smart city and look at things that might be implemented now but could be seen down the line. The ambiance and the feeling of a park and the aesthetics, like the experiment with our dark and light before, is very important to the people of Stockholm, and they want to keep the feeling of a park and not feel like they're just walking through the city, and that was something we kept in mind. And the feeling of safety is emphasized, I can't use both words, because you can't create safety, it doesn't happen, but you can make society feel like the place where they are is welcoming, so that the feeling of safety is created. And we're not discriminating against men, we just think once we solve the problem for women, which seem to be the societal problem, every problem will be solved. So we, that's ambitious. We came up at the last delivery of our ideas. We came up with ideas that created safety, information, activities that would bring more foot traffic, and we tried to solve all of the users' needs that we met in the park. And once we brought these ideas back out, we met with lighting professionals, placemaking professionals, we got feedback from our challenge givers, and we talked to the public again about all of our ideas, and we ended up with our final solution, Dicontrast.
So hey, I'm going to talk about Dicontrast and the main concepts and directions regarding it. So this concept is about several things. First of all, it is about lighting up the surroundings around the path in order to increase the feeling of safety. It is about adjusting the light's luminous intensity to reduce the impression of great contrasts. One important aspect that we have taken into consideration in this solution is that the fall and the winter seasons are really dark already in the afternoon, not just in the night time. And our overall aim with this concept is to create a solution adopting motion-sensitive, interconnected, inverse lighting, which uses electricity sparingly, thus being aligned with our eco-friendly and climate-conscious mindset. So before going deeper into our solution, we would like to have a few things in mind regarding our concept. So in order to increase the feeling of safety, it is important to decrease concealment and entrapment, which means the dark corners and the possible hiding places for offenders. It is also important to increase of prospect, which means increasing the range of visibility of the surroundings. We would like to note here that this concept isn't necessarily about increasing the number of light poles and the spotlights in the park. It is about the feeling of more light through smart and practical solutions using and upgrading already existing utilities and surroundings. Inverse lighting means putting the light sources further away from the people without glaring too much light right on them. It often happens in today's park that strong light is reflected mainly on the paths, thus making it hard to see the surroundings, thus creating an awkward feeling of the walking people. Moreover, people who walk in such environment could not only be dazzled by the glare, but might feel being watched. Based on our understanding of what people actually want when they're walking in such environment, they generally said that they want to see instead of being seen. The use of Internet of Things, in other words IoT, is an important aspect of our concept. IoT is aimed to unify the smart built-in sensors via connection, communication and interaction with each other and with their constantly changing environment. Smart sensors are reacting to individual movement and adjusting the lighting level based on time, visibility and weather conditions. Besides economic reasons for optimized public lighting, sustainability is also an important and crucial concept in our solution. When talking to people, we realize that the meaning of lagom, which is not too much, not too little, is really important for people, as they actually want to feel like being in a park, the natural, the tranquil environment, the atmosphere. They don't want such a Dubai, Tivoli-like environment with really harsh light sources, but they want to see their surroundings. So this is like this moderate, nice way of like contributing the light, but also not being too harsh with the light sources. This lagom concept was really important in our concept. And people who visit the park to experience the nature and like this need is really important, it should be respected. So to further clarify the concept, we have created some sub-concepts.
Okay, so one of the sub-concepts is lighting up or focusing on the edges of the park, different kinds of edges outside of the park and important edges inside the park also. And this is to, since the feeling of safety is so dependent of not feeling entrapped or that you can conceal something. So this is, by lighting up the edges, you are able to map out the park more easily and you can view your surroundings more easily, so there are few places to hide. And you can also navigate more easily. But as with the lagom concept, it's important that these lights are like dimmed down and only for moving around or navigating in the park. The focus is to not light up mainly just your path as it is today. Now you only see often the path and nothing around you. But this is to focus on the surrounding around you. And we also thought that since Humlegården, this is a picture of Humlegården that we focused on, since it's quite a big park, we suggested to divide it into quadrants. So when entering your quadrant, that quadrant is lit up a bit more in the surroundings around you. And this is to save energy and also to not be like light pollution and bothering people around you. And also you see the dotted lines. This is to highlight that this should be a flow or overlapping, so the movement in the park is natural and the light moves with you when you're moving inside the park.
Also, it's also very important to light up the park entrance in a way that will attract more people inside the park. But also, for people who are inside, it's also necessary to see the exits. The exits should be also visible in a way that they will not feel entrapped within the park, and it will create a feeling of control. This is the picture taken at the Humlegården. As you know, we use Humlegården as our field study. At 4 p.m. you can see when you walk in from outside, it's like you are going to a dark spot. So there is many entries and many exits in the Humlegården park, but few are seen from inside and also from outside. The contrast solution idea is to create a light not only from top, even from ground, where people from outside the park can be able to see the ambience or attractive entrance, so that can be attracted to get in the park. But also, if you are inside at any point in the park, you'll be able to see the exit. So we think for people who are inside, to create some kind of light strips or some light that will be seen from far at any point within the park, so people can also be able to see exits. But not too much light, but a small meter from within the exit, from the exit. So we light up the way, like the path from the inside out. So people from outside can see it, but also people from outside can also see it.
So parks are natural meeting spaces for people, and within a park there is playgrounds, there is dog parks, outdoor gyms, and so on. But also the open spaces in a park is natural meeting spaces. So to use an example, this is a picture of one of the playgrounds in Humlegården. It's hard to see that it's even a playground there, and it's actually kids in the picture. So with just a few adjustments, we can make these meeting places more attractive. For example, there's a kid-powered go-round that creates light. There's LED light swings that you can interact with, and they will light up and interact with. This would not only make the meeting places more attractive, but as many of these, for example, the playground is often placed in the edge of the park, is a navigation point as well. And it will also make the park seem more welcoming and be good for the ambience of the park.
To give an example of what our solutions will look like, we've created a short video where you can see the before and after effects. So that was just a preview of some of the things we think could be used in the future, and some examples that we have created. If you would like to see more, you can come to our exhibit upstairs after all of the presentations in our miniature version of Hullegården Park. And thank you for such an enlightening experience of working with stuff.